I've just picked up a new daily, and not only is it not a Volkswagen, it's not even part of the VAG group. Let me show you it, and then I'll tell you a bit about why. So there you have it. I bought a 2007 Megane 225 RS Lux. Wait for the banging to stop. Okay, so I've bought a 2007 Renault Sport Megane 225 Lux. The Lux pack gets you leather interior. Honestly, I don't really know what else, but a slightly nicer finish for a French car. Let's go inside. There's a lot of noise here and a lot of building work going on behind me, so I'll run you through a bit of the spec of the car, but also the main reason why I bought it. Okay, we're back in out of the banging outside and the building work that's going on. It's funny, as soon as I take the camera out to film, everybody decides to go and do stuff that's noisy outside. So back in the garage, but as I was saying, the car, why did I buy it? So in its history, it's been owned by somebody who worked for K-Tech Racing, and they did a whole load of work to it, including an R26R lightened flywheel and clutch. There's an K-Tech Racing intake system, full exhaust system's been remapped by them. The previous owners just put Cook Sport springs onto it, which is why it sits lower. Also have 20mm spacers all around, which while it looks great, I'm not sure they're going to stay on the car. So with all of that, it was a really good buy. I actually knew the previous owner from many years ago, because some of you may not know that actually when I first started driving, I got into hot hatches and I owned a whole load of 172, 182 and 197 Clios. Fantastic fun to drive, and I think that's really why I'm back in a Renault and actually not in something from the VAG group. So the last couple of dailies that I've had, I had started with an Audi S3, which was fantastic, 2016. Moved it on to get slightly more room for the kids. Bought a Golf R Estate. Golf R Estate, again, fantastic car. Not as much room as you would expect due to the floor height at the back being taller. But again, they were quick, and they were definitely quicker than anything I've driven in a long time. But they were just quite mundane and dull. Yes, you could, put your foot down and go very fast in a straight line. You go very fast around a roundabout. You go very fast round corners. Like, fantastic cars, but were they fun? I don't think so, for me personally. I then changed into a 2017 Skoda Octavia VRS. It was the 2-litre TFSI engine, and what I realised actually was, although it was significantly less in terms of brake horsepower, I still enjoyed driving it just as much. It was probably the best commuter car that I've driven in a long time. The DSG box, enough power to be, able to overtake and do all the things you need to do in a daily, but it was also understated. No one really looked at it twice, which I suppose I'm at a stage of life now where I quite value. I got an offer on the Octavia. The Octavia went, and I started looking for a replacement, and the market is just all over the place at the moment. So when the Octavia went, I put up a wanted post. Really what I wanted into was another caddy van. Really enjoyed building the last one. I was thinking a bit about the channel as well, a bit more content, being able to build the van in a slightly different way. But then I started to look, and the price of caddy vans is just all over the show, and people wanting so much money for vans with mega miles, lack of history, real wrecks and really, really rusty. So I went to see a few, but I was caught in that tension between I was willing to do some work, but I wasn't willing to pay a premium for a van that needed a significant amount of work. So that left a bit of a bit of tension. Then started looking at other kind of VAG stuff to be great for a daily, Mark 5 Golfs, Mark 6 Golfs, and again had exactly the same problem. Stuff was super, super expensive, and I understand that kind of post-COVID the market has went that way, but it wasn't cared for. Rusty arches all around, lack of service history, running really rough, and people still asking a real premium for it. So when the Megane popped up in the market, I looked at the name of the person who was selling it. Again, Northern Ireland is a small place. I knew that mechanically the car would be in really, really great nick, and it is. So I thought, why not get back into something fun? So there, that's a bit of the story. Let me talk to you about the plans. Okay, so what are the plans? We're going to take the car, which is, as a foundation, really, really good, and we're just going to tweak it and we're going to make it a bit better. First things first, we're going to focus on how it drives. So I mentioned things like the wheel spacers earlier, tyres, that sort of thing. Just dial it in a wee bit more and make it more of an enjoyable car to drive. Interesting to see whether or not that means we make it look less good or less sporty to focus on the driving, but we'll work through that. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the red, which is all pretty original, but many different shades, given how red fades over the year, and we're going to do a full detail on it. So again, side note, something that years and years ago I used to do a lot more of. More recently I haven't had the time to do it, so I'm looking forward to get into a full detail, full polish, and see what we can do with the car. We'll tidy up some of the bits in the interior that are starting to look a bit old or a bit rattly, and other than that, we'll see where it goes. But I want to bring all of you along the journey as well. I posted at the beginning of the year a video to say I'd be back in 2024. I'm aware that we're nearly halfway through 2024 now. So yeah, a bit more content, bring you on the journey and see where we go with the Megane. That's it. One more thing though, before we finish. I mentioned there at the beginning of the year that I said I was going to do more content. I have been trying. The truck is continuing to be built. It's actually making a lot of progress, but I've hit a number of stumbling blocks that have meant the videos just are on hold. There will be more to come on that, but the truck is moving forward. Some exciting news on that as well. So lots more to come. Thanks very much for joining me for this episode. If you liked it and want to hear a bit more about what we do with Megane, hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you in the next one.